know that meme that people do where they like use lipstick to write whore on the mirror? And they're like this.
Okay, but me watching this show, whore. Ah! Like, fucking shit. Oh my god. Wow, they're so good looking. If they make one more second of eye contact, oh my god.
Welcome to Sisflix, the podcast where we won't judge you for talking through the movie. Sisflix are the movies you laugh at, yearn for, and overanalyze with your girls, significant others, and now us.
We are your hosts,
Paola
and Naja, two sisters and designers who discuss chick flicks we hate to love,
tropes we love to hate,
and all of the aesthetic choices in between. Join us as we break down our favorite movies together.
Hey, sisters!
Hi, sisters of the pod. Sisters, gender neutral, hockey fans, country folk, lend me your ears, because we are back to squeal, giggle, barely make it through a conversation about the newest TV sensation sweeping the nation. Just kidding, sweeping like the world. Heated Rivalry. We wanted to put together a quick hit clips, content focused on Heated Rivalry, the new show that we're watching from HBO Max and Crave in Canada that has been everywhere, all over the internet, all over the TV, all over our feeds. So we really wanted to talk about it. And here we are with fan fave, returning guest star, sister of the pod, Marissa. Hi, Marissa.
Hello. Fan fave. My goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Like, keep going.
You guys, stop.
Thank you for having me back.
Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for being here.
What a treat.
Heck yeah. We usually do one hit clips a month, which is kind of like our bonus ep, where we post on our Patreon for our subscribers. They kind of get a little bonus episode where we kind of just talk shit and talk about like what's cooking in our brains, what we're reading, what we're watching, stuff like that. But this one we felt had to make it onto the main feed because
it had to.
Heated Rivalry.
It had
baby.
to.
Yeah, I mean, we had to. We had to give you a little nugget. So, yes. So, this might end up being a little series as the episodes of Heated Rivalry continue to be released. So, we might do a couple of these as we want to talk about the show back and forth.
Yeah.
So, might be fun.
Exciting.
So, yeah, as we were saying, Heated Rivalry, the newest queer TV phenomenon to take over our collective minds, hearts, screens, TikTok feeds, Discover pages, Instagrams, Twitters. It's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. We are also watching it. It's fucking superb. I'm jumping the gun. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, we're super excited to talk about it. So, Paola, what's up? What is Heated Rivalry? Tell me a little bit about it.
So, Heated Rivalry is the new 2025 TV series. Premiered last Friday?
Like 2 Fridays ago.
November 28th? Yeah. It's only been one.
Oh my God.
It's been 8 days, guys.
Oh God.
Reporting on the 8th day, we are here.
And on the 8th day,
this
God made. No, I'm joking. But holy shit. Wow. I didn't know that it felt longer.
Brand spanking new. Brand slapping new, should I say. Brand
spanking, slapping. It's brand new, all right.
Oh, all the things. Heated Rivalry is a TV adaptation focusing on the second novel of a 6-novel series, Game Changers. So my dumbass went out here looking for Heated Rivalry, right, to read, not realizing that it is a second novel in a series. So, do you really have to read the first one?
I'm learning that right now, that it's multiple novels. I thought it was just out here. I was like, oh, hockey romance. Okay, I know that's a subgenre.
I know. Same. So, this is a 6-novel series by Rachel Reed. In this series of novels, we are following 2 professional hockey players, Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. And they have their first meeting as rookies, and they start having a relationship, and while their careers are progressing and while their teams are actual rivals through playoffs and a bunch of seasons, like it goes through a couple of years.
I think it was almost like 5 or something in the first episode. It was a huge time jump.
Yeah, a lot of big time jumps we go through. They just time jump and fuck is really what happens.
Well, yes.
But the novel specifically just builds on this relationship through these like really steamy encounters as they meet.
Yes, Paola, thank you for that brief synopsis. And we have a few more in-depth synopses of the book as well as the episodes of the show that have aired so far. So this TV adaptation, as Paola said, coming off of this book series by Rachel Reed, was created for TV by Jacob Tierney. The main core of the show for episodes 1 and 2, episode 3 gets a little bit different, and that's something that we're going to discuss, stars Hudson Williams. Whitpro ass name. Like, that name is fake as fuck. You can't tell me that's someone's real name, but I'm sure it is.
Stage name for real.
It stars Hudson Williams as Shane Hollander and Connor Story as Ilya Rozanov. So Shane Hollander is a Canadian character of mixed race, right? Like, he's half Asian, half white, he's Canadian. So is Hudson Williams. He is a Canadian actor of mixed race, half Asian, half white. Obviously, faithful casting. I love that. That's great. Connor Story is an American actor, and he is playing a Russian. Not like a Russian American, not a Russian Canadian. My man is playing Russian. He learned to speak Russian and then trained himself to speak in a Russian accent on set.
How do you do that?
His accent is incredible. And he speaks Russian so well, it's honestly kind of insane. Like, I thought he was Russian, but I saw videos of him, like TikToks and like clips of interviews where he's just like a boy from the US. And I was like, And then I see that his last name is Story, and I was like, that's not a Russian last name. Like, is he like half Russian or something? Did he grow up speaking Russian? No, dog. He learned it for the role. Acting.
Learned it for the show. Crazy.
Just the accent in episode 1, just the Eastern European affect. I'm like, awards. Just give him everything. He fucking earned it. His face morphs when he's being Ilya, and then when you see him like Sweet Baby Angel in interviews, because he's like a big sweetie and he seems like he's really, really nice. Literally, it's like looking at two different faces.
He's not just a white guy from the US. He's a white guy from Texas.
I saw that in his IMDb.
I was like,
crazy.
Some things are bigger in Texas, huh?
So let's get to the scorecard before we completely derail.
Okay.
Let's get to the scorecard. Paola, is this a straight or queer story?
Queer!
Queer as fuck! Queer!
Yay!
Fucking, I'm living.
Gay!
Not a straight character that we've met that's not a parent. Yeah. Like, not someone's parent. No. Or like some random teammates. Whatever, who cares?
No one important.
Does it have source material? So as we discussed, it does. It is the Game Changers series by Rachel Reed. As we mentioned, it's really focusing on the novel Heated Rivalry, which primarily focuses on the budding relationship between Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. However, the entirety of the series does cover other characters that kind of exist in the same orbit as Shane and Ilya. And we learn a little bit more about that in episode 3. Marissa and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. We've seen a bunch of mixed reviews about episode 3 where people are like, where's Shane and Ilya? Ugh! Like, I want to see them fucking. And it's like, relax. Like, there's like story to be told. Take a deep breath, replay episode 2, you'll be fine.
Go touch some grass. There's other things that are happening.
Truly touch grass or ice, whatever you want. I don't care.
Ice.
Episode 3 kind of grounds the story and builds out a little bit more of like the atmosphere around Shane and Ilya using the characters from the first book of the series, Game Changers. Who came up with the story? The author, Rachel Reed, bless. Who directed this show? So that depends on the episode, but primarily the director is Jacob Tierney, who's also the show's creator. What is the trope?
We have forbidden love. Okay, we have these like hockey players who start falling in love and they're not supposed to like each other because they're not supposed to be gay because they play hockey.
Because they are boys.
You don't know how this goes. They're boys. You can't do that in Hockey.
There are so many arguments to be made about the fact that like watching men play professional sports is one of the singular most homoerotic experiences that like men can have. The extent to which they get emotionally invested in individual players, in coaches, in like watching. Dog, if you like boys, say that. You know what I'm saying? Men, you built this world. You built the framework. The fact that y'all are angry about stuff is not my fault. If you want to kiss boys, just say that.
Have you seen Fleabag?
Yes!
In season 2, you're making me think of that speech where she's like, women carry pain in them and men don't, so they invent all these reasons to like touch each other.
Yes.
Whether that's like, you know, like touching each other or like violence or whatever. You just made me think of that. So that's too deep for what's going on right now, though. That's too deep.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
I mean, sports romance and opposites attract.
Yeah. Forbidden love, sports romance, opposites attract. It's tight. It's like a tight trope offering.
Yeah. It doesn't even touch enemies to lovers. They never made it to enemy, okay?
Literally.
They saw each other and said, oh yeah, I want that.
That's professional admiration right there. They were like, I think you're really good at hockey. And like that was
I professionally admire you. I do other things too.
If I licked up and down every person I admired professionally, what a mess. What a mess.
When I first came across the story and I saw people talking about it online and I'm seeing like, I'm thinking heated rivalry. I'm like, oh shit, this is enemies to lovers. Nah, they were just lovers.
Just lover boys through.
Yeah, they were just lovers.
They're right. We'll talk about the episode. I'm like getting ahead of myself already in my head. I'm like,
all right, Paola, give us, if you will, a small. This is not small. It's the back of the book. It's the back of the book from the book Heated Rivalry.
The actual back of the book.
Actual back of the book.
So, the actual back of the book of Heated Rivalry says, nothing interferes with Shane Hollander's game. Definitely not the sexy rival he loves to hate. Pro hockey star Shane Hollander isn't just crazy talented. He's got a spotless reputation. Hockey is his life. Now that he's captain of the Montreal Voyageurs, he won't let anything jeopardize that, especially the sexy Russian whose hard body keeps him awake at night. Anyway, continuing. Boston Bears captain Ilya Rozanov is everything Shane's not. The self-proclaimed king of the ice, he's as cocky as he is talented. No one can beat him except Shane. They've made a career on their legendary rivalry, but when the skates come off, the heat between them is undeniable. When Ilya realizes he wants more than a few secret hookups, he knows he must walk away. The risk is too great. As their attraction intensifies, they struggle to keep their relationship out of the public eye. If the truth comes out, it could ruin them both. But when their need for each other rivals their ambition on the ice, secrecy is no longer an option.
Ooh.
Ilya realizes he wanted more.
That got dramatic.
I love it.
Okay. Is this like foreshadowing that Ilya falls harder? Is that what's happening? Is that what's going to happen?
At this point of the show, neither of them are falling harder. They're falling equally as hard.
And I have a theory.
They're in lockstep where they're falling. Oh, can't wait to hear that theory. Let's go. I'm sorry. Low-key, aside from my rampant immaturity of the hard body keeping him up at night,
well,
the rest of that
Wonderful.
synopsis was quite good. Dramatic. The stakes are high.
Came that drama right at the end.
I would buy that book if I was reading on the shelf. I'd be like, I want to know more.
So we've got the back of the book summary. It sounds like the book is starting us a little bit after the timeline of where the show starts us, because in the book, it sounds like they're both already captains of their professional teams. So getting into the individual episode synopses and then a little bit of discussion about the episodes themselves, the first episode that was released on November 28th, 2025 is titled Rookies. That one was directed by Jacob Tierney, written by Jacob Tierney and Rachel Reed. Two rival hockey stars at the peak of their careers face an unexpected emotional connection. Sure. Challenging their professional paths and disrupting the sports world's expectations.
Ooh.
Now that is almost impressively vague and misleading, and I love that for us.
I have no idea what I'm about to get into, and I did it.
I did it. I had never heard of this.
Me either, yeah.
And it was one night that we were hanging out. Danny brought up Heated Rivalry, and she was like, oh, you guys need to fucking watch this show.
Danny, another sister of the pod who's been on the show before.
She was on for K-Pop Demon Hunters. She's a queen. She's the reason that we met Marissa. Here we are, talking about the first episode of Heated Rivalry, which, as I mentioned a little bit ago, is titled Rookies. We're not going to go like too super deep scene by scene into it, unless at a later date, Bob and I decide we want to do that. But basically they meet and we get like a title card where it says like 2008 or 2009, something like that. We see two guys meeting up outside on what looks to be like a cold street, maybe behind some type of event center. We get the introductions. This is our exposition. Shane introduces himself to Ilya. And he's like, hey, I love watching you play. It's so cool to meet you. And he's clearly got the shine in his eyes. They're new. They're babies.
He's like
they're
heart
fresh.
Eyes. Yeah.
Ilya, at this point, heavy Russian accent. We're not 100% sure how much English he speaks, how much he understood of what Shane just said. He just responds and he's like, okay. Right. What?
He's very unfazed, very like, okay. Like, he's there to do a job, essentially, is the vibe you get from Ilya. Like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to do what I need to do.
And for a second, you're kind of like, oh, maybe he didn't really understand what Shane said. Or at least that was my perception, right? Coming into it completely fresh. Until 30 seconds later, he's like, you're not going to like me so much when we beat you. And then you're like, oh,
oh, you're an asshole. Okay.
Oh, I see your game. You want to talk about mamas. Okay. Like, all right. And now we've established the characters. We know what they're about. We know as much as we kind of need to know about them to start building their foundation, to start building out whatever the relationship becomes, right? They go through kind of their first draft choices for the show's kind of like fictional TV equivalent of the NHL. So we see Shane navigating this process with like a very supportive and very present family. So his parents, who are his Asian mother and his white father. We see a couple of call outs where Shane and his family are talking to like hockey executives or like team owners or whatever. And they're kind of like, oh, we're so excited that he's Asian, where it's like, you're supposed to feel honored, but it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I think they handle that really well. Like, they're just kind of like ding, ding, ding. They ring the bell a little bit and then they let it go. He is drafted for his rookie season onto the Montreal Metros. That is their fictional hockey team. Ilya, he is the number 1 draft pick, and I believe Shane is the number 2 draft pick. So they're head to head constantly, right? It's always one winning, the other one right behind him. He's the first draft pick onto the fictional Boston Raiders. We see him navigating the hockey world a little bit more independently than Shane does because he doesn't have the same support system and his family is primarily based in Russia. So his father is older and he has a brother who seems to suck ass and be really shitty and is constantly hitting him up for money. So as we mentioned, their first meeting is really like a bit of a fanboy moment for Shane, where he's just like, hey, I think you're really good at hockey. Earnest, eyes wide, new to the whole thing. And we also briefly hear an announcer mention that Shane is a teenage phenom at hockey. So you can assume that he is oldest 19. Then every time that we kind of see them together, it's further off in the future. Obviously, hockey events, they're kind of thrown together by the press. And so they're in the same place when they get drafted. That's when we get the scene of them in the hotel gym. They're at the same hotel. You're led to believe that it's either the middle of the night or it's super early in the morning. Shane is in the gym alone. Ilya joins him, gets on the bike immediately next to him. To me, low-key, that's the equivalent of like going into a bathroom, seeing that a stall is occupied, going to the stall directly next to the person. It's like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't want you to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came here alone. I'm thinking. I'm at peace. Like, why are you right next to me? They're directly next to each other. They're alone in this gym. They're a little bit like crowded together and they start matching each other's pace on the bike. So they end up having like a very intense workout because they keep trying to go faster and faster. After that is when they have this water bottle sharing moment, which I think was a big like teaser used in the advertisements before the show aired. That whole scene is so pointed because it is Ilya testing. Not even testing. It's like, hey, like it's Ilya just being like, yo,
do you feel this tension or not?
Literally, like, are you down? Or, and like Shane not being, it's almost like he's not protesting enough.
Oh, you mean the glance down to the package? To the fucking spread?
It was very not straight.
Right before him? That wasn't showing enough. Oh my God.
They're like stretching or whatever after their run, and he's like, here's water, and then he stops drinking and he goes, more. I said, that's when I texted you, Naja. I was like, their chemistry's insane.
That shit right there.
The eye contact.
The eye contact in that scene.
Part of that's more intimate to me than being
tension.
naked.
The chemistry passed around this water bottle.
And their hands,
insane.
They brushed.
Oh, that's not a brush. Ilya specifically goes to
Mm-hmm.
grab my man's hand. We're going to see what's up, Shane.
Mm-hmm.
That bike scene, I think, is so symbolic of the dynamic of the relationship. Shane is the first one at the bikes. He's the first one that we see visibly start to be attracted or even approach Ilya. So he's the first one at this bike. Then Ilya comes, joins him. They start kind of trying to match each other's speed, right? So you get that competitiveness of them, but then they're really pushing each other. And they get to a point where they can't go hard anymore. And then they start coming down together. It shows how this relationship plays out. You have Shane, who really is the one who falls first, and then is joined by Ilya. Their dynamic is kind of like this competitive dynamic and kind of like as they're testing each other's limits. And then they get to a point where you don't know who likes who more. They're at the same level. They have this moment where they're coming down together after this workout. And then that's when they meet at the floor of the gym and have this exchange where they're really putting each other out there without saying anything. Just eye contact and sharing this water bottle. They're telling each other, I'm available for you. I feel this. You feel this. We can share this together. We can test this together.
I absolutely agree.
I like that a lot, Bala.
It's a very good metaphor for their relationship, yeah.
Then they film an ad together where they're getting like photographed posing on the ice head to head, right? Something that's a little bit telling, I think, is like as they're doing this ad and they're posing, they start breaking and they start like laughing and they stop being able to like take the advertisement seriously.
Yeah.
I think that's like a really intelligent way to break down the tension between them without using a lot of exposition or a lot of dialogue. The ad wraps, both of them get off the ice and go into the showers. That's obviously a super normal thing when you're an athlete, and they're the only two there because they're filming this ad. Ilya's the one to be like, no, it's time.
This is my moment.
It's time. It's time. This is my moment. We're getting to the bottom of this shit.
I think what does it is that he catches Shane
looking,
glancing at him.
Ilya starts like jerking off. Shane doesn't protest quickly enough to be straight.
Where do I look?
Shane responds a little too gay. Yeah. Like, and so afterward, they get out of the showers. Shane is the one to be like, we can just pretend that didn't happen. Whatever you did in the shower was like a fluke. And Ilya's the one who's like, yeah, fuck that.
He basically was like, little bitch.
Literally, he's like, oh, you're a liar, you coward. Like, Ilya's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna pretend shit. I'd like to fuck, thanks. Where's your hotel room?
Give me your number, stat.
And the way that he asked for the hotel room number and Shane gives it immediately, it's like, babe, you didn't even think about lying. You didn't think about hesitating. You just said, okay, yes. And if I knock on your hotel room door, will you answer? Yes. Great. We've set up a hookup.
He's probably embarrassed, and so he was trying to find a way to back out, right? And so he just kind of gave him an out, like, whatever. And then Ilya was like, no, I'm not taking the out.
I mean, that's super risky, right? Because imagine if Shane had been more forceful in his denial. Like, that could have been a big issue. Obviously, Ilya's like, no, I've got this down. He's like, my towel is slung way too low around my hips for me to be messing around. What is that called? God. Is that called an Adonis belt? No, it's called a tongue valley. Oh my God. The ridge underneath that man's abdomen. Holy shit. But, right, so he basically propositioned Shane in the locker room. Shane affirms. He gives him his hotel room number. They meet up in the hotel room. That's where they have their first hookup. That all happens in the first 25 minutes of episode 1. We're not even halfway through the episode. Like, it is at the speed of light.
It's funny because, like, it is so fast, but also, like, they've known each other for, like, 3 years at this point. They know each other, but not at all. So it's, like, this weird lying in wait, tension, bam, like, explosion.
Yeah. It's made very clear that it's Shane's first time with a man. Ilya's really nice to Shane, even though Shane is like totally a virgin as far as being with a man. No,
Yeah.
but I feel like it would have been very easy for him to be kind of dismissive and mean, and instead he's like genuinely encouraging and just really nice.
Even when they're like on the bed and Ilya, he finishes before Shane and he's like, all right, gonna go. And then Shane's like, excuse me? And he's like, you think I'm gonna do you like that? And I was like, yeah, that's right.
We love a king who reciprocates.
Well, I just think it's one of those instances where like, yeah, he's kind of an asshole, but like in this moment, it's like fun little banter. Like we're having a moment.
Also, I completely missed that they're like making out, I guess talking about like Shane giving him head. Ilya's sticking his thumb into Shane's mouth.
Oh, I love scenes like that. I fucking love scenes like that. Heterosexual, homosexual, everything in between. Jesus Christ. I eat that up.
There's something so satisfying about moments like that. It reminds me actually of a really similar moment in season 2 of Bridgerton where Kate and Anthony are hooking up. It's like the tiniest flash in like the montage of their intimate scene. Anthony's like kneeling in front of Kate and she just has her hand wrapped around his jaw and her thumb in his mouth.
Yeah! Oh my god.
And girls, we're eating good.
You call that girl
dinner.
I stood up and applauded.
Literally, Paola and I paused it and we're like, ah! There's no logical reason that you would have to do such kind of like a pointless but intimate action. But like, I like that that's something that they incorporate, even though they're very unknown to each other. Like, again, 25 minutes into episode 1. Like, my brain is stuck on that, on how fucking quickly it all happens. That's when you get their first sexual interaction. That's when you get, right? Shane keeps his socks on, folds up all his clothes. Ilya tosses all of his clothes right off and doesn't give a shit about it.
He just said, I'm free.
The consent party that is had after that was honestly one of the most attractive parts of the entire scene to me.
Yeah.
Because I think there's like this perception for straight men who are obsessed with porn that consent is like implied and not explicitly given, and that to explicitly request consent is like unsexy or like takes you out of the moment. Wrong. Everybody wants to know what they're getting into and wants to agree. It doesn't make it less masculine, which is, I think, is like referring to straight men who are obsessed with porn. That's the fear that if you start asking questions, you're less masculine, you're less decisive and like aggressive or whatever.
An attack on your own ego and masculinity. Yeah. Because
exactly.
You should just know based on what they're...
You should read her mind.
Where under consent does get on your knees and like directly dropping fall? Is that is like the directly dropping to your knees the consent? Yes. Like
that's implied consent. Where have you been?
Me going into this fully knowing it's like TVMA and like literally what you guys were texting me about the other day, and I'm just like la 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 la, and I just go, oh my god. There is no
so I would say that's my favorite example of consent was Ilya saying get on your knees and Shane just dropping. So.
He said, say less, king. Here I am.
Say less.
Ilya does a good job of still making Shane feel like okay, like
not
making
sure
him feel
he's
cheap. Like, okay, you good?
Yeah.
Right, exactly, 100%. It's like he does it playfully. Ultimately, he does check in on him and like make sure he's good. That's an endearing side of Ilya that you do see when him and Shane are having these intimate moments. Maybe because of Ilya's experience, they very quickly take their roles as dom and sub, like who's submissive, who's dominant, and who enjoys being submissive, who enjoys being dominant. Before they're talking about anything else, those lines are already drawn. Episode 1.
They don't exchange phone numbers, right? After their like first sexual encounter. That one seems almost like it might be a one-off. And then we see them doing a bit of press before the hockey all-star game. They're like sitting next to each other doing like a conference.
Oh wait, and they touch their feet?
Yes! That shit has me grinning, foaming at the mouth. I love shit like that.
I know, it was so good. Weren't they asking about, is it family? Or their fans?
It was like their fans and basically like the legacy of their teams. Like you're on these really important teams, like the fans are really like depending on you or whatever. Like basically like how do you feel about that? How do you feel about like that pressure? I don't know if it was for Ilya that maybe like his English was like a little bit too limited to answer it, or if he got really nervous and didn't really want to answer such a heavy and like deep question. But that's the question where like Shane jumps in.
Again, like we haven't read the book, so we don't know, but my interpretation of that scene was like, because we've had all these scenes like with his family and they're being so pressured for him to be successful, for him it doesn't matter like what team he's on because he has his family to support or family's approval that he needs, and so it doesn't really matter to him. I mean, later we know, you know, he becomes captain and everything, so it's probably different at that point, but that's how I interpreted that. Like he didn't know how to answer it because he didn't feel connected. He just wanted to win.
I like that it's not necessarily about the fans or the team. It's just like, I need to win. So Shane kind of like rescues him from giving that answer, and they have the All-Star game. This is when Shane kind of gets clocked by Scott Hunter, who is on the New York team. So that's the first time we see someone looking at Shane a little sideways. And as he's like interacting with Ilya, like out on the ice, not behind closed doors, and Ilya basically like spits his hotel room number at Shane.
I know, that was bold, dude.
In front of all these other hockey men? What are you doing? Like that just, it felt so pointed. I guess you're just lucky that it's maybe so noisy in this fucking like rink.
I mean, I guess to everyone else it would just look like he was like shit talking him really quick, probably.
Yeah, and that's kind of how he plays it off to Scott Hunter. He's just like, oh no, he's just talking shit. I don't know if he did it on purpose. Like obviously we learn a little bit more about Scott Hunter later, but he's just like, oh yeah, I'm in the room right next to his, ha 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 ha. It's like
don't like, do anything loud.
Babe, why'd you mention that? That was weird. Especially when you see the interior of this hotel room. The shit's a fucking palace. It's bigger than my apartment 2 times over. Yeah. So I'm just like, who gives a shit if Scott Hunter's next door or not? But fine, whatever. So, okay, first episode, we are not 45 minutes in. Second sexual encounter after the All-Star game. This is the encounter after which they finally exchange phone numbers. Ilya's the one to be like, you have a phone. Like, we're gonna, like, give me your number, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah. 2025, babe. Or
whatever year, 2012? 2011?
Early, people have cell phones. Give me your number.
Literally, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Shane has a BlackBerry. Go off.
Oh my god, my dream. I love BlackBerries.
The scrolling ball. Oh, you couldn't tell me shit. Paola had a BlackBerry. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So in the show, after they exchange numbers, they're supposed to see each other after a hockey game. Their teams are supposed to go against each other. And this is one of those jumps where it's 2 weeks later.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It ends up getting snowed out. And so they can't travel. And the game gets canceled. And you see Ilya's frustration that he like can't go see Shane. Like he is like foot tapping, agitated. And then kind of in contrast, you see Shane who's like disappointed in like a softer way where he's like a little anxious and nervous, but not like as frustrated. And Ilya goes back home. And when he goes back home is when he encounters one of his friends from Russia who has surprised him and is apparently someone that he has like a friends with benefits situation with because they hook up, and it's a woman. So bisexual king Ilya.
Yes, representation.
We love that. Representation, we love that.
Yes, feral Russians can be bisexual too.
I'm dead. I would say especially so.
Yo, hold on. The jump scare I got when this curly haired girl showed up in his apartment. I'm like, wait, hold on. What's going on here? What's going on here?
Bisexuality entered the chat.
I was like, oh shit, wait. Do we have a bisexual king? I'm bi, actually? Is that what's happening?
Oh, that's perfect. And we see Shane hanging out with one of his teammates and his teammate's family instead of obviously having filthy sex with another hockey player. And then the next time jump we get after that is 4 months later is when you have like the hockey awards, right? Like the awards show in Vegas. So both Shane and Ilya are up for the same prize, Rookie of the Year. Shane's the one that wins it. And he is looking for Ilya kind of all night. Like he definitely wants to see him. He's like a little drunk. He takes shots with like some of the other hockey guys.
Isn't this when Scott is like, where's your boy?
And Shane's like, what? Who? What boy? Not mine.
Being so obvious. Who, what, when, where?
A boy? I've never heard of a boy. I don't know any of those.
What are boys?
Again, for reasons that we go on to learn, Scott's just like, okay, sure, Jan. Like, relax.
Like,
Methinks
all right,
the
babe,
lady
don't
doth protest
worry.
too much.
You're in good company, babe.
I won't tell. So Shane ends up doing shots with like a bunch of these guys, including Scott Hunter. Looks for Ilya everywhere, can't find him. When he finally does find him, it's on like the rooftop of this hotel. They're looking out at the view. Ilya's clearly got like shit on his mind. Like he's clearly unhappy about stuff. Frustrated about his family and about Russia and maybe how like some parts of his season have gone. Shane is just trying to connect to him. I think like his defenses are a little bit down because he's a little drunk. He's feeling probably just like a little vulnerable. I don't know, again, like a little like newer and more naive than Ilya, where it's like this boy I like is here and I want to talk to him, and Ilya's just like, Jesus Christ, I've got other stuff to think about.
Yeah. I'm having a moment. Get away your gay thoughts.
Like, this was one of those moments, again, without having any more knowledge of like the book, that I was like, oh, this is the moment where Ilya does the thing where he like puts distance between them, totally blows Shane off, and then pretends like, oh, whatever, I don't like you anyway. Honestly, I thought that was like more the direction this was going to take, of just like, oh, relax, like we are nothing. And then Shane is kind of like, all right, cool, see you next season. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This
He's like,
sucks, and
okay, actually, bye.
Yeah, this sucks and I feel bad. So anyway, bye. And that's when Ilya goes and like kisses him. And I think that like bit of like emotional confusion for Shane kind of like snaps him out of it. And he's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're in public. And that's when he like storms off and leaves Ilya. And that's how we end episode 1.
Tumultuous.
Yeah, tumultuous, almost mid-confrontation. Shane wants to connect. Ilya pushes him away, but then pulls him back with
physical aspects.
Exactly, like
He's
physical.
Like, I don't want to be
emotional
relationship. I just want to tempt you with physical because I don't want to think about what's going on right now.
Exactly.
And Shane's like, no.
Stop it. Yeah, Shane is very much. I think that's the kind of thing that like really confuses Shane and like frustrates him. I'm watching this for the first time, and I'm like, oh shit, are they gonna like beef? Is it like
actual rivalry now?
Well, no, because I'm like, oh, they're hooking up. Now is this gonna go sideways? Like, it becomes like a weird feud instead of almost like a little like lover spat. And then it just goes so much more like tender and intimate than that, in a way that I find really interesting, because it kept subverting my expectations. Even just like Ilya going to kiss Shane instead of just pushing him away more, I was like, that's interesting. You could have just let him leave the roof and that's that. But like kind of chases after him and pulls him back in. That's interesting. And so kind of that confusion and that like up and down is where we leave them at the end of episode 1.
Dun dun dun.
They're so hot. Jesus Christ. Fuck. God. Wow. I'm salivating over these men. Holy shit. So, as we get into episode 2, the title of episode 2 is Olympians, and that is directed again by Jacob Tierney, written by Jacob Tierney and by Rachel Reed. And the brief baby synopsis of this one is Shane and Ilya keep their secret fling alive while their growing connection is tested by personal and professional pressures. We love a little alliteration, personal, professional pressures. But basically, like, the skinny on this episode is they're the Olympians. So they're competing for their respective home countries at the 2014 Sochi Olympics in Russia. We get a montage of a bunch of different vignettes where Shane and Ilya are having just like a texting correspondence. Like, as months continue to pass by of them like seemingly not seeing each other, seemingly not hooking up, they still kind of continue texting. Ilya is always propositioning Shane, and Shane is always kind of like, what?
Shane's like, stop.
What do you mean? How many times can you come in an hour, write 7 different messages, erases them all? Maybe twice.
When that seat came up, I said,
I was like, girl, what kind of plans you got?
We are going for gold right now.
Olympians. They're going for gold.
Yeah.
Finally, they've gotten to a point where timelines are overlapping. Shane is playing a home game in Montreal, which means that Ilya's team is visiting to play the game. They're in town. So they decide to meet up for an encounter at Shane's apartment, which is so fucking
Yeah.
intimate. Oh my God. There's like genuinely like few things more intimate than having a hookup over at your own place. There's something about that that like sparks anxiety inside my soul. So from the events of episode 1 where we left off, this is like almost 2 years later.
Which is why I say, like, I know that there's intrigue, but like, damn, 2 years?
Exactly. It's like 2 years of intrigue. Girl, what that mouth do?
No.
Apparently a lot.
Was he given like God's gift? Like, I don't
Both of them were, apparently. The way these men are acting, that professional admiration goes a long way. So they have this game. Ilya is like texting Shane before the game, sexting him pretty much, and Shane is like pissed about it because he's taking everything way too seriously. And one moment that I thought was really sweet is like they meet at Shane's apartment. Shane pretty much has Ilya meet him around the back of his building, right? So that he's not entering from the front. He lives up 2 flights of stairs, and as they're coming up the stairs, they start like racing each other. Like they start running up the stairs.
They're competitive.
They're competitive and also they're eager. Oh, yeah. Cute.
I could picture them just being like like shoving each other in while they're running.
Literally, yes.
Playground antics.
You get into Shane's apartment. The lights are very low. Everything's like very glowy, fire candly. It's all super sleek and modern. He's clearly making a lot of money, but he also paid a lot of money to buy his place, to have it decorated. He even says at one point, like, I hired a decorator because I don't know if he knows what his taste is or like who he is.
Yeah, and also not just that. Remember, because when they're talking about the apartment, he's like, oh yeah, I also bought the apartment next door. I think I'm gonna rent it out. And they're like, ooh, businessman.
Yeah, and it's like, we're planning long term.
He's not living in this like well, let me take it back. I was gonna say he's not living in the moment, but like he could be only living in the moment with Ilya.
Right, he's the one that makes him a little bit less of this like business-like person. They get to Shane's apartment. Again, the interior is incredible. The lighting is very low. It's already like feeling really intimate. This is like this late night encounter. They go to Shane's bedroom. Shane's bed is covered in a comical amount of pillows.
Yeah.
And Ilya's like, do you think there are enough pillows? I cackled, guys. I was like, this man has no business being this funny. I was so mad. Shane is like, that's when we find out. He's like, oh, I hired a decorator. Because he's like, oh, did your mom buy these pillows? And he's like, it was a decorator. Thanks.
Not my mom, thank you.
He's such an ass.
But again, that's even like another jab at how involved Shane's mom is in his career, right? And in his presentation to the world. Like his family is always very close to him. And then as they start getting into the sexual encounter, they have these moments of like back and forth. But I think as they begin, one of the things that like, I don't know, really got me because it was like so tender is like they're standing on opposite sides of the room. Like Ilya clearly claims the side of the bed. Like he like walks around the bed and he's like, I'm gonna be here. And Shane is like still standing by the door like, what are we doing? Like he's like still waiting.
He's still so nervous. He doesn't know what to do.
He's like holding still, but you see the tension, right? Like in all of like the lines of his body. And he's still fully dressed. And Illy's like, all right, get over here. And she's like, no, you get over here. And like they do that. Like literally both of them are like, you get over here. No, you.
As they're walking towards each other.
And it's like, I thought that was so cute.
I just think it shows so much like how yes, truly though. It's like, oh, they're so cute. Because you really see in that moment how into each other they are.
We needed that little dose of cuteness, I feel, before the next part of the episode.
Something I loved about this scene in the bedroom is Ilya is checking on this man every step of the way. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you still okay? Are you okay now? Things were happening and he needed to make sure that he was still okay.
I think their positioning in the intimate scenes is really important because as they start, one of the moments where Shane is like checking in, or excuse me, Ilya's checking in on Shane, they're face to face. And obviously that's incredibly intimate. And then whenever you as the audience think that the scene is fading to black, no, it isn't.
It is not.
They're just moving around.
It never fades to black. Me every
They're
time, like,
just moving around. Ooh, yeah. You get a little fade out where it comes back to them switching positions, and now it's like they're facing away from each other. And I almost got the sense that it was like, ooh, getting too intimate. The face to face is a little too much.
Yeah.
Or just feeling it out.
Or that.
Let's see what you like. It's Shane's first
That's
time.
true.
And he does like a little kiss on the back.
Oh.
I thought that was very sweet.
She's like being sweet, and I'm just thinking, I saw this meme where it was like POV, you're the necklace that Ilya's wearing, and it was like swinging back and forth silently.
Jesus.
Going back to like the fading in and out. Every time it would fade out and back in, like, oh, there's still oh.
They had years of tension to get rid of.
These boys
fucking under this scene, the music is really low. You hear a lot of sound.
Everything.
Movies and shows have a tendency, aside from the fade to black, right, a tasteful fade out, they have a tendency to like blot out whatever normal sounds you would be hearing during an encounter like that with music, right? Like that's the score kicks up, it's like a big emotional moment, fades out, and then you come back to the characters after. Nope. Wrong. That's not what they're doing.
I was gonna say they have never done that, because like, even in their like first interaction in episode 1, like I think I texted you and I was like, dear God, the sound of their breathing, like they're literally just like standing face to face and it's just like pin drop silence, but they're like breathing so heavily.
Like that sound design choice is so smart. It heightens the intensity for the viewer. The sound design heightens the intensity, the art direction and the color usage and the lighting. Cass Moran did a really good edit where she was talking about the importance of the color of the lighting at the end of episode 2 and how it's reflective of like openness versus being closed off versus like the emotional edge to what they're doing and what they want from each other, and how the lighting reflects that really well, because there's a lot of use on this show of colored lighting. Yeah. Especially because hockey has to do with ice, intimacy. People associate that often with red. You get a ton of blue light, you get a ton of red light, a ton of yellow, like these moments of like big warmth, and then moments where the shadows that are being cast are very blue, and it's super satisfying because they associate properly with like the different emotions in the scenes, and they heighten and emphasize different parts, right? So like the lighting throughout this scene, the lighting is super warm. This room is bathed in like a dim yellow, warm orangey light. And like the entire encounter is just like bathed in like red and yellow. That's some of the most gooey emotional, right? That they're having, right? Like this connection as they're having sex.
That ooey gooey.
But anyway.
I'm sorry.
Gooey feelings.
No. But
no, never mind.
But the light, the use but like the use of the light even during that encounter versus later encounters where the lighting design is a little bit different. They're not in Shane's home, they're at a hotel. The emotion and like the emotional availability at different moments in their encounters is different. And that is kind of a consistently maintained detail. She was calling that out in her edit, and I thought it was really fucking clever.
She always has pretty great insights. She's a good follow.
But yeah, like they finish, which is often not a moment that you see. I think specifically maybe with like, not specifically, I wouldn't say that I watch so many queer movies that I have like a good bank of knowledge, but I feel like it's rarely something that I see portrayed in a queer movie of like getting to the moment where they like finish. I don't know if that's like vulgar. What am I talking about?
As we're like,
what? Where are you?
They out here.
Yeah, well, what is this?
Anyway,
I really don't know, because I'm thinking about like the queer media that I've seen, and I can't say that like a lot of it has actually been very explicit. Now, what my AO3 tab says otherwise, But
Oh, what I
as far
read,
as, like,
that's between me and God and
Yeah.
you guys in our group chat.
I don't feel like that's ever shown a lot in like film and TV, period. It's always like during and then the afterglow.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you're right. I feel like it's frowned upon, maybe. Maybe the actual scene of it
No,
is.
there's definitely a choice in showing
Mhm.
climax. I think media would show women climax more than they show men.
Interesting, isn't that?
Wow,
Yeah,
the male
well, you know.
gaze.
Wow.
I don't mean the
male
good kind. I don't mean the
gaze.
GAYS. I mean the GAZE, the male gaze.
But I want to say that recently I've seen a lot more scenes where they do make the choice to show the guy, like especially when his arc is as important as the
Mhm.
female's emotional arc as well. I can think of 2 or 3 off the top of my head where they make a point of showing the guy
Mhm.
climax as well. Yeah, with this one being one of them.
I want to emphasize, just for you and me, for the conversation we're having, it is 11 minutes into episode 2. They're fucking.
Only 11
They're
minutes?
fucking 11 minutes. That is how quickly this show moves.
I hope it was longer than 11 minutes for them.
I mean, these fade to blacks and then just switching
It's
perspectives.
so funny because, like, how are you doing a fade to black, but then also I am clutching my pearls?
Literally, yes. Like, this was the scene where I would like, I'm almost hiding under the covers, like, because it just felt so intimate. It's very, very well done. Like, as quote unquote explicit as like the intimate scenes in the show so far are, and I think we only say that because it's between 2 men and not a man and a woman. I feel like they're very tastefully done, and they do quite a bit for like character development. One of my favorite AO3 tags, I think, was like character development through sex or something like that, or like smut for character development.
Oh, my favorite kind.
Develop my character. Let's go. When they're in the afterglow, even that's intimate. I feel like they're almost like cuddling, and Ilya feels the need to be like, oop, gotta go. Like, first he goes and he takes a shower and then lays with Shane in bed again. Shane is like chilling. They're both mellowed out. And you get a moment where Shane kisses Ilya's forehead. You see Ilya's eyes just go like, oop. And that's when he's like, yeah, I should go.
He said, whoa, this is the wrong kind of intimacy. Goodbye.
Stop. Yeah.
But like to backtrack a little bit on what you just said, you were saying that it's really not that explicit, and you know, I have to agree with you, because I think about things like horrible comparison, so I'm sorry in advance, like 50 Shades of Grey, like when I think about like the first like sex scene they had, because it's like the only one where they're vanilla or whatever, I would say it's equally as explicit. I just think we're not used to seeing that with queer romance. So it's like almost shocking. Like, not actually, but you're just surprised that it's lingering.
You're surprised that it's an extended part of the scene at all. I think people are either used to it being implied, and implied almost sometimes as like a punchline.
Right.
But not treated respectfully or like tenderly.
With the same intimacy, yeah.
Exactly. Like, just because a scene is explicit doesn't necessarily make it like vulgar. I think people cross those a lot. And just because a scene is explicit doesn't make it like pornographic. I mean, obviously it's funny to make a joke of like, yo, this is porn, but like they're meant to elicit completely different responses, and like the response you're meant to pull away from this scene is emotional. It's not supposed to be like, aha, they're gonna get wet. No, it's supposed to be like
hell yeah,
it's supposed to be but like it's an expansion emotionally of like their range, their characters, the way they perceive themselves and each other. Plot, like character development through smut. But like, yeah, we get to the end of this scene where Ilya's kind of wrapping up, getting ready to leave Shane's apartment, and I shit you not, we are not even 15 minutes through the episode. Holy shit.
What happens in the rest of the damn episode?
Like, how the fuck does this show work?
No.
Oh
I
my
remember
god.
what happens in the rest of the episode.
As Ilya's leaving Shane's apartment, this is another time that he's kind of trying to connect with him, because he's like, we're going to the Olympics in Russia. You guys must be really excited. Are they really proud of you? That kind of thing. Because he's like, my parents are really like psyched. They're so excited for me. They're going to watch all the games. Shane is kind of like, yeah, this is like what I've been like dreaming of. Ilya breaks it by making a competitive joke, because he's like, dreaming about what? The bronze medal? Ha ha ha, because I'm going to win.
Right.
And then Shane is like, shut the fuck up. Then Ilya's like, oh, remember when I made you come?
Not just come, girl.
Come hands free. Yikes. Oh my god. Gah!
Talk about hooting and hollering. That was me in the room. What did you just
Squealing
say?
behind the prison of my hands in front of my face. I was squealing.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Alabama jumped out.
So, yeah, it's kind of like his discomfort with the conversation makes him go competitive, and then it makes him go sexual. So it's like, what are the different avenues I can use to avoid where this conversation is going? Whereas Shane is just like, what if we talked about stuff more? Like, what if I learned something about you? And
What
Ilya's
if you
like,
were
nah,
also my friend? Like,
literally. What we're led to believe as the viewer, and I have not yet read the books, but they're like on my list. I intend to. What we're led to believe as a viewer is when we see them together is the only time they're together. It's not like there's relationship happening off screen that we don't see and has developed, and then they come back differently. It's like they only meet intimately in person in the scenes where we see them. Or that's my understanding. I could be
Really?
wrong.
I didn't get that because they're texting back and forth the whole time. So you're assuming that they're meeting.
That part I did find a little bit confusing. And then I felt like when you do see them together the next time, that it's a continuation of like a way previous conversation they had via text.
So then the implication is that they haven't seen each other in years. So they haven't been together in
Like
years.
they haven't like
together?
hooked up physically. That's the way that I understood it.
Kind of weird.
But
I will say, if
I'd have to read the books.
If I have to critique anything on this show, the timeline situation is really confusing, especially the first episode, because it's like 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year,
6 months.
And I'm just like, I'm getting whiplash.
Your mood swings are giving me whiplash.
Call back. Call back.
I'm so sorry.
Good one. Good one. Yeah, it kind of like put me off a little bit at the beginning. I was like, I don't know if I could keep following this. But then it hooked me.
Yeah, no, my assumption was that we just didn't see them get together because they were still playing each other. So you would assume they're still going to each other's cities. So they're probably getting together that night. You see the exchange on text. But then again, if they were still hooking up for all these years, then why would their first time having sexual intercourse be like the one we saw what happened in that one episode? So episode 1 ends with them deciding they're going to continue to stay in contact, and they create these code names for each other on their phones. Ilya's the one that's like, dude, this is how we're going to do it.
You have a phone, right?
Here's my phone.
He's
Give
like,
me your phone. You have phone?
Here you go.
You have phone? Give me.
You got games on your phone? Right here.
You got games on your phone.
Ilya's Lily. Shane is Jane. And then that's how they text each other through all these years. You see all these text messages, Lily, Jane, going back and forth. My assumption the whole time is like, oh, they've still been hooking up. But I guess now hearing it from your point of view, they weren't. That was just sexting the whole time until they meet in 2014.
I mean, if you think about it though, like Ilya is from Russia. When he's not working, he's in Russia. But when he is working, he's in Boston. And Shane is in Montreal. Even though they play each other sometimes, if you think about it, the possibility of them running into each other is really not that high.
And they're not taking trips for each other at this point. They're only seeing each other when they're in town, when they're
eye contact.
It's only
serious. Is that if it 8 years worth of eye contact and texting? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
8 years of eye contact.
They're on the ice. They're like.
That is what makes me want to go in and read the book and be like, what is happening up here? Like, what are their thought processes like towards each other that make them so attracted to each other? Because like, I don't want to sound
they're
like a piece of shit.
willing to wait.
Right. Here's still somebody that you are going to be thinking about, even though you guys like blew each other once in a hotel room. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to sound insensitive or anything, but like, are you not living your life still?
Exactly. Yes.
You're telling me you had that one experience, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would too be thinking about that. But you're telling me you had that one experience and then you just never sought to recreate it?
I agree with that. Like, when I saw that they were kind of pushing over those points in time, I was like, oh, it's because they're meeting up behind the scenes. And then we see them again, and it's the same conversation of like, well, you've never done this with another guy. This is your first time, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait, they had that conversation like 2 years or 3 years prior. Like, aren't you living your life? Aren't you meeting other people? Aren't you fucking? Like, what's up? Like,
You're pro athletes. Like, I know people are like scrambling to get your attention.
Especially with Ilya, and obviously not knowing the entirety of the book series or anything like that, like not really knowing what to expect for the next few episodes. I'm watching in the first episode, I'm seeing like you get your classic Ilya's the rake and Shane is like the inexperienced blushing
prudish,
virgin.
yeah.
You get that pairing, and I'm thinking, oh, Shane's gonna get really emotionally attached really quickly, and Ilya's gonna be a fucking asshole about it. We might see Ilya fucking around with somebody else. It sparks jealousy. Like, that becomes the conflict rather than just like the yearning. I was pleasantly surprised that wasn't the case, because obviously that gets really, really predictable and like rote. But there's no one else in the league that they're fucking. Like, there's no one else in their orbit.
Well, we know that Shane is like at the oldest 19
when they start.
Then what, 6 years over the first episode?
Yeah, about
24. In your early 20s,
and you're a pro athlete with like a lot of money,
and a lot of like publicity, because Shane has that like a Rolex ambassadorship.
Yes.
Question mark.
Yeah. He's a watch ambassador. He has like a Reebok deal, like starting out his first season. Like yeah, he's highly visible.
But I guess it just takes away from the yearning, and we're thinking way too logically about it. We're using our developed brain. I'm sorry.
I know, right? I'm using my post 25-year-old brain for this. Even Ilya too. It's like, it's not that I'm upset that he does, but it's almost like I'm surprised he gives as much of a shit as he does, maybe without further context. I'm surprised that they even care. Like,
yeah, because it was 1-2 incidents max, and
then it's just like a lot of like pent up waiting.
I mean, I guess absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I know we had mentioned a bit of like, oh, it's almost like stars in his eyes, like professional admiration, like because they're both really good players. They're always 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Maybe that also plays a part in it. The more I say this out loud, I'm like, I just need to read the fucking book. Because maybe all my questions will be answered and I'm a fucking idiot. Something else throughout the first episode that I feel like persists in the second episode, but is so well done in the background, is like they watch interviews of each other a lot. They end up seeing each other on screen a lot.
They are aware of each other even when they're not around. Yeah.
Very much. And at first, it almost feels accidental, because at first it's like, oh, they're consuming hockey press. So if they're consuming hockey press, they're big, important players. They're going to be in the hockey press. But then it becomes Shane watching YouTube videos of Ilya on his phone.
And making himself late.
To see his parents. LOL. And then it's like Ilya in his hotel room just laying in bed watching an interview of Shane. And it's like, oh, this is like significantly more pointed than just occasionally, oh, you came up on the screen because I was watching hockey news.
Yeah. And doesn't Ilya say something along the lines of like, I mean, it's supposed to sound like sarcastic, I guess, but doesn't he say something like, something about him being perfect, right?
It's something that he like says to himself out loud, because Shane responds to an interviewer in French, because he's Canadian, so he speaks English and French, and Ilya's like, so perfect, you're doing fucking perfect guy, perfect Shane. Like, he's like a weird amount bitter about it.
I almost feel like he's like, of course you would speak French, fuck, you're so hot.
And I honestly, relatable.
Yes. Me when I found out Timothée Chalamet speaks French fluently.
Bruh, me when Josh Hutcherson speaks Spanish.
Oh my god, on Royal Court?
You
said, I got a drink of water.
And of course, fucking Brittany Broski just has a heavy Mexican accent because she's from Texas on her Spanish. And that shit cracked me up. I was like, both of you. Oh, I love you both.
I know.
So I'm still in episode 2. Okay, wrapping up where we're at in episode 2. As we get through these rapid flashes of time ahead of the Olympics, we see them kind of facing different situations. We also hear just kind of like throwaway lines that give us a little bit more like placement of their environment. So like we learn that obviously they're no longer rookies. Now they're captains of their respective teams. And now when we get to the Olympics, and again, this is 2014, so this is 5-6 years after we meet them initially, they are competing for their home countries. That's when we catch up with Shane specifically at the Olympics. We learn that Russia's out of the running for a medal. And Shane is like following this game very intensely, because we see him with headphones on, looking at his phone, tense.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he kind of sees some of the other hockey players he knows. He sees Scott Hunter, with whom we are familiar. That's when we get a brief moment of Shane being like, oh yeah, one of my friends is competing in figure skating. And the other hockey player being like, oh, he's probably gay, right? Like, that's really rough. And then Shane being like, and
It's also like kind of wild for him to be like, figure skater, so he's gay.
truly, like, pause, halt. Is it thoughtful, kind, or whatever the fuck the phrase is? But like, in that moment, I'm kind of like, oh, it is 2014.
I keep forgetting that it's not 2025 in this show.
Honestly, it's not just the blackberries, it's also the attitudes. Yeah. He goes to see his friend compete. In that same day, he goes and finds Ilya. He sees him at the rink, just kind of like lingering around like the top by himself. And he goes to see him because he's like, hey, I just wanted to check if you're okay. And Ilya's kind of like, don't fucking
talk to me.
Literally.
He's like, okay, go away.
This is the moment where Shane's like, well, I thought we, and this is when Ilya's like, there's no we, go away.
So upsetting.
Shane is like, are you okay? I think at this point, he's like, he's probably acting like this because he's upset because of how the game went, right? Like how their events went. He's like, you know, you didn't answer my text. Like I texted you. This is after Ilya being like, go away. Ilya's like, yeah, I didn't answer your boring text. Like, fucking go. And that's when Shane is like, okay, fine.
I can see where I'm not wanted.
Exactly. Obviously is really hurt and leaves. We see kind of like Ilya's frustration with that. We also see his father's frustration with that and how critical his father is of his hockey performance. And his father also seems to be kind of like vaguely ill, like he might be losing his memory. That's something that seems to be stressing Ilya out. We also see Ilya go to like big fancy party in Russia, which has like a lot of big wigs and stuff. And then we see Ilya interacting with clearly people who are two contemporaries, people who know him well and are around his age. One of whom, it's given through some kind of like clever expositional dialogue, was his coach's son back in Russia. Right. And that's who we learned was his first male partner, right? Like his first foray into having a sexual encounter with a man. Someone he knows, someone who you assume would be a pretty easy hookup if how he comes on incredibly strong, like is any way to look at it. And Ilya kind of blows him off. Is just kind of like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. And that's kind of like bloop, bloop, bloop.
He said, I've got somebody.
He's saving himself.
Yeah. Oh, God. I feel like a little bit from episode 1 is that Ilya has like a sexual encounter with a female friend from Russia. So obviously they're not in like a long-term relationship. Like that's not his girlfriend, but they know each other well enough for this to be part of whatever type of relationship they have.
That was a hookup in episode 1, but like when they see each other again, it's definitely just on like friend terms, or at least looks like it. Like she kind of rescues him from the big party and is like, come with me. And that's where we meet the coach's son. Guy. I was like, coach's who's son, the teacher of sports? The coach.
Coach. That teacher, the teacher of sports.
I lost the word for a second.
The sports teacher's son. Again, in episode 2, as Marissa said, they don't hook up again, but we see his old male hookup, coach's son, in the same orbit. So you're kind of like, oh, they all know each other. They're just kind of like doing whatever. So we see Ilya kind of blow off hooking up with this guy who he knows, and even the other guy being a little bit kind of like, oh, okay, like a little bit taken aback by
like a little put off. Yeah,
that's a moment for us where we're like, oh shit, he definitely seems to like Shane more than he's even willing to admit to himself at this point. He's not even necessarily interested in being with other people that he's familiar with, right? That you would assume he's comfortable with. He's just kind of like, that's just not really what I want.
So at least it's like not just Shane that he's doing that to. I would be low-key pissed if he was like, okay, because it's easy.
And that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. Again, it's like the show kind of kept subverting my expectations that way because I kept thinking, oh yeah, well, of course he's going to do the easy thing because he needs to run away from his emotions to the extent that he is acknowledging that he's feeling them.
Right.
But no. And you can only assume at this point that at least part of his hesitation has to do with Shane. So we get a time skip between Winter Olympics in 2014 and then spring of 2014. So again, that's one of those things where it's like, I wish the time skips were phrased consistently. Is it months or is it seasons? It could be intentional on behalf of the people behind the show, but I find it really disorienting as far as like when you're supposed to be placing things in time.
Hopefully, as the episodes go on, though, that like they'll have more interaction, so it'll be less confusing.
I think so. I think probably as more of a relationship maybe happens between them, that'll probably be the case. We get to spring of 2014, Montreal. Shane is at one of his teammates' homes where a lot of the team has gathered to watch the final playoff game for the Stanley Cup. Shane's team is not in the finale.
Playoffs?
What is this, theater? Jesus, thank you.
The
God.
finale?
They're not in the
teacher?
season finale. Put us in fucking jail. Okay.
I don't think we're allowed to talk about this show anymore.
Fuck.
We don't have the qualifications.
Oh my god. Put me in jail. Like, Ilya's team wins the championships, so they win the Stanley Cup. Ilya is like the most genuine smile we've ever seen on him. Tears of joy, so fucking happy with his team, and they're hyped. They're lifting up the cup, holy shit. And all of Shane's teammates are like, all right, they won. Anyway, time for appetizers. Like, they're all just hanging out. Shane is watching the TV, and it is like a Timothée Chalamet end of Call Me By Your Name, staring into the fire, tears rolling down his face moment. Tiny, tiny smile twitching up on his face. His eyes are like filling up with tears. You can just see that he's so proud. Even though his team isn't in it, he's just like, oh my god. And he's trying his hardest to just like keep it together.
He's so happy for him, and he can't express it. I think it's that scene says so much.
Too, like his teammates even say something like, Shane hates him the most or whatever, isn't that right? And he's like, he's a total bastard or something like that. Sure.
I think Shane calls him an asshole 57 times. Like, that's half of Shane's dialogue is calling Ilya an asshole. And I'm like, we gotta have better words. The way he has to like tense his jaw to like not start crying, which oh my god, I thought that was so sweet. After the spring 2014, then we get a title card that's like summer. Again, like, okay, don't tell me the year or any. I don't know. I just found that
irritating.
Yes. So they go to summer. You can assume it's 2014, so it's just a few months later, and they're having the hockey awards or the sports awards again. Ilya and Shane are put on stage together to present an award, which is like cheesy and it's like on TV and whatever.
It's a little bit.
That's where Ilya feels up Shane's ass.
He's just like, ooh.
Out of view of the camera. That is an insane fucking thing to do on stage.
As if there's not like a bunch of production people running around the whole time. Like, please.
Please be for real. Please be for fucking real. God. They come off of the stage and Shane beelines to the bathroom. His eyes are kind of teary. He's like breathing heavily. Shortly after he comes into the bathroom, Ilya follows him in. We get this confrontation between Ilya and Shane where Shane is like, you've been ignoring me for months. We haven't talked. Like, what do you want from me? Like, he doesn't say as much of like, I'm so confused, but that's like what you get of like, I am so fucking confused. Like, what is this? Like, you're fucking hitting on me on stage, but you won't fucking answer my text messages. What the hell? Obviously, the one who breaks first is the most emotional. So he's like having this whole moment where he's just like so frustrated with Ilya, and he's like uncertain of what he wants and what he's going to get and what he can even ask for. Obviously, that gets vulnerable. So Ilya has to make it about sex because that's the only thing that's like comfortable territory for him. So that's when he's like, I want you to suck my dick. He's obviously not being serious.
Big eye roll.
When Shane is like, you suck my dick, like, fuck off, he takes that as an in to like, well, he's not like punching me in the face. He's not fully pushing me away. Like, this is my in to like get a little bit closer to him and kind of keep this part of the conversation going. Makes it sexual to kind of like control Shane's emotional response. I don't know. What do you think about this scene?
It kind of seems like Shane is about to have a panic attack. And so it's like you're saying that he's trying to bring him back down. But it's also like, why the fuck did you say that?
Exactly.
Like, he's literally having a panic attack because, well, one, you did it on stage in front of hundreds of people. So that's sick. Love your forethought in that junction. But I mean, I guess it turns out to be the right thing to do, but it feels like the wrong thing to say because, like, the last time they talked, he was just straight up like, there's no we, go away. I don't want to talk to you. And then ignores him. Yeah. So I would be pissed if I was Shane, which I mean, he is. Maybe I'm just not that down bad, but if someone was acting that way to me, I'd be like, get the fuck out of this bathroom. Like, I don't want to talk to you. That's the developed brain.
That's after being 25, and we can
Yeah.
assume that they're maybe just grazing 25.
Yeah. Even though I don't approve the method, I do like that he brings him back into the space, I guess, instead of,
It was an interesting way to like handle this scene, because I think it was another scene where I was expecting the show to have Ilya be like, who gives a shit? I don't care about your feelings. Or like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
what
for
he did
him
right
to
before that, so it makes sense.
exactly. For him to like lash out back. Like Shane lashes out because he's upset, so then Ilya has to lash out harder. Then it's a bigger conflict. Like, yeah, he ends up going in a sexual direction because he's uncomfortable, but he goes sexual in a way that's like calming and distracting for Shane. And then, right, takes him out of that headspace where he's like getting really worked up, possibly about to panic. Okay, I feel like this moment has kind of been like internetified, but Shane makes a couple comments throughout the first few episodes where he's like, your English is getting better. Your English is getting better. Who taught you that? Why do you know that word? He says something about like, your English has gotten a lot better. And Ilya's like, yeah, I read the New Yorker now. And he's like, really? Like, my dad reads the New Yorker. And Ilya's like, I don't read the New Yorker. It's boring. And then he's like, your dad reads it? Good to know that boring is genetic. And Shane doesn't even take a second to be insulted because he literally just goes, genetic. You know the word genetic. I guess squealing. I'm so behind my hands, like squealing.
He's so whipped.
Oh, baby.
And then Ilya's like, yeah, anyway, whatever. So we're going to meet up later and have sex. Bye. And like leaves Shane in the bathroom. Shane just like looks in the mirror and just like frustratedly wipes his tears. It feels like Shane gives in kind of easily, which I think obviously just goes to show that he's incredibly down bad.
Oh yeah, incredibly.
Like criminally down bad. His championship yearner. He's an MVP in yearning.
Yeah.
After this award show culminates, turns out that Ilya has won MVP, right? Because he's the captain that led his team to a Stanley Cup win. Shane meets up with him in his hotel room. Again, the fucking interiors. Oh my God.
Where are these hotels? Because I want to stay at them.
Where are these hotels? Who the fuck location scouted these places? Give them a raise. It's like all wall of windows. They're standing up against the city. It's incredible. All of the lighting is very dim. Everything is so symbolic. Like you get a little bit of a callback to the previous time that we saw them interacting at this award show. It's like in episode 1, they had like a negative encounter where they're on a rooftop overlooking the city. And when Ilya kisses Shane after their confrontation, Shane's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're in public. Like, anyone can see us. And so that's kind of consistent, like bringing them back to a similar kind of like visual scene. I think it shows how much they evolved in the intervening time, but it also shows how many things are like still the same.
Their fears are still the same.
Exactly.
No matter how much their relationship has evolved.
Ilya looks fine as fuck. My God. And then it's a very kind of like an intimate scene that is much more about the control aspect even than it is about the intimacy. Ilya's pretty much like, take your clothes off. And he does immediately. The consent implied. Then he's like, there are like a lot of windows. Like, I don't want to take off my undies because there are a shit ton of windows right here. And Ilya's like, yeah, okay. And he grabs the chair. There's like a chair next to him because they're in like the living room of the suite in the hotel. And he drags it into the bedroom and positions it in front of the bed, like facing the headboard. I mean, okay, it's the chair drag heard round the world.
Yeah.
The way that this is shot is so fucking satisfying because they just bring the camera from the living room. You go through the bedroom wall and watch Ilya settle the chair in front of the bed. This is where you get that really good mix of like the blue light, the red light, the yellow light, like how that plays on their faces at different moments. This is a very big blue moment for Ilya. And he basically sits down in the chair in front of the bed and tells Shane, like, get on the bed.
You want me? Show me.
Yeah, basically. I'm gonna sip on this vodka. I'm gonna sit here and fucking chill. Like, what's good, dog?
The lighting on that scene, too, like...
The lighting design in this is incredible. It's so good.
Tip my hat to the lighting crew, you know, the Jesus.
I was gonna ask, what's your interpretation of what the blue light means for Ilya?
Emotionally closed off?
But in that specific moment.
In Cass Moran's analysis, right, she said the same thing, right? The blue light, especially on his face, is a sign of like attempting emotional distance. I also think the chair, not being in bed, not immediately going to Shane, is more emotional distance. It's like, this is me pretending I have more control over the situation than I actually have. I'm going to sit here and watch. That's me putting literal levels and distance between myself and this other person. Obviously, that doesn't last the whole time. They end up having sex. But I feel like the moments before they get into it are more emotionally vulnerable because, right, he's like watching Shane. The way that Shane is like touching himself is very much how Ilya would touch him. So you're kind of like, he's written his script, right, of like how he has sex. He's finally kind of like, I need you. Shane says that to Ilya. It's meant to just be like, I need you in this moment sexually, but that's like a big thing to say to somebody that you're casually hooking up with.
It does not come across that way, like on the screen. I was like, oh.
So aside from emotional distance represented by the blue, could it just be representing power, the power dynamic in their sexual relationship?
Well, yeah. I think it's emotional distance. I think it's coldness. I think there's coldness even in the way he's drinking vodka with ice in it. He's obviously super Russian. Right, you got what I'm saying? Like, but as in like
as itself, yeah.
I think there's like this element of coldness about him in this scene because he's sensing Shane's vulnerability and is just like, shit. Shit, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only mentioned that he's Russian because he's drinking vodka and he mentions that the vodka's good. But like even that sense of like how he's holding the glass, almost shielding himself, he's kind of like doing a little bit of this with the glass. And like finally when he lifts the glass away from himself is right before he and Shane join up where he like gets on the bed. As he's talking about the vodka, Shane is like, well, can I have some vodka? Because me doing this in front of you right now is fucking weird. And Ilya's like, you'll get vodka after as a reward. But even if you think about it that way, you get a little control after as a reward. The vodka's mine right now. Me, I'm calling the shots. After we're done and the feelings are over, you can have a little bit too. You can have a little power back. We see Shane be like vulnerable about his needs because he outright says like, I need you to Ilya. Like that spurs them into having sex, but it's also something that's very close and intimate.
It's close to the chest.
Yeah. Also, God forgive me, Shane crawling over the bed. Also, the way he's holding eye contact almost the entire time. Good God.
I just don't understand how they film these scenes.
No. I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
Again, intimacy coordinators need to be paid so much money. Like, I don't understand how you're blocking any of this.
The actors, like, seeing them in interviews and stuff, they're, like, super cute in interviews. And they, like, refer to each other as, like, best friends. Like, they got really, really close, which I think is, like, so sweet. But I'm like, did anyone leave set and just go like, so are you coming to my house later? Like, when are we getting married? Like, right? Like, where's my ring? How do I tell all my friends you're my boyfriend now? Like, I'm like, how do you not do that? Like,
I'm pretty sure I said the same thing about The Summer I Turned Pretty though. Like, how do you not fall in love on set? I don't get it. I don't have the cognitive dissonance.
Ooh, could not be me. Because I'm delusional, so my mind simply would not be able to bear the weight.
Yep.
That intimate scene is a fair bit shorter than the previous one that we saw, but you still get like one or two of like, oh, they're done. Nope. And and then you see them laying in bed after, and you kind of get a moment of Shane trying to be a little bit more in depth with Ilya, where he's like, you're going back home to Russia. Like, do you like it there? Are you safe there? But there's a lot of subtext under that. Ilya is kind of like, oh, he's trying to get me to open up and I don't want to do that. So it's home. It doesn't matter whether or not I like it. I have to go to sleep.
Well, I think it's interesting too, because he's like, it's home. It doesn't matter if I like it. And then Shane's like, I mean, doesn't it matter?
Isn't that like kind of the point?
Yeah.
You have to go there every year for several months. Doesn't it matter if you like it? And he's just like, no, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think that's also a reference to like your family. Like, I've only seen a very little interaction, but there's a lot of tension going on within his family and he doesn't get to choose that. And I think that that's very much like, well, I don't have to like it. This is just what it is. It's just part of it. And Shane's very unaware about whatever dynamics going on with Ilya.
and we get Shane leaving Ilya's hotel room. Both of them seem bummed.
Yeah.
Like, both of them seem unhappy with how this has gone. Yeah. Shane's clothes are in the other room. He goes and gets dressed, and he's like, all right, well, I'm leaving. And Ilya's like, good night.
Yeah.
They literally say goodbye from different rooms. They don't see each other again. And I feel like that's like a rough parting. Like, it's such a contrast to their first prolonged sexual encounter where they're at Shane's apartment, because afterwards, when they part, they're both like very much in the afterglow.
In that contrasting scene, like, he's walking him out because they're at his own house. You can't really do that at the hotel. I mean, he could at least walk him to the door, I guess, but
they both seem frustrated and bummed and like dissatisfied. Ilya's just like sitting on his bed staring off into the distance. Shane gets in the elevator to go presumably back down to his own room. He starts trying to formulate a text to Ilya where he's like, all right, see you next summer, smiley face. But then it's like, that doesn't feel right. Like, the tone is off, right? He deletes it. And then he's like, that was fun.
No.
And then deletes it. And then the last one that he types out but does not send is, we didn't even kiss.
Oh my God.
Just...
And one letter by one letter, he deletes the text message, and then you just see him butt his head against the wall of the elevator. He's just like, what the fuck?
No.
It was awful.
Oh, shit.
It was. They're so good. They're so good. Like, Connor's story, again, as Ilya, fucking elite. Like, I want him to win so many awards. But, like, Hudson Williams as Shane, he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah. I saw on TikTok the other day that people, like, they posted, like, a bunch of, like, lines that were like that, and it was like, we didn't even kiss. And then the next one was from Call Me By Your Name, where it was like, because I wanted you to know, because I wanted you to know. And I was like,
oh my
God,
God,
hurt me.
That's like where we leave Shane and Ilya emotionally for now.
Yeah.
So it definitely does leave you with like a little bit of like a sense of like a hangover watching episode 3 and just being like, how are they? I just want them to be okay. How are they doing? How are they feeling?
Not me. I was excited. I loved episode 3.
I really, really liked episode 3.
Damn. So that's how episode 2
Yeah.
ends.
And then
now I heard
then
Sorry, go ahead.
episode 3 is different POV, different character, which it made me
right. I heard some like this, not a lot of people were happy with episode 3. So give me the rundown.
All I'm gonna say is I think I like that story better than the first couple.
You know what? And you're brave. You're
wait,
brave.
Wait.
That.
Okay, the story in episode 3.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you disagree with the online discourse about episode 3 then.
I mean, I like literally just finished watching it before we hopped on here, but like I find it odd that it received such mixed review, because even though it was different character focus, like it was still a good story.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. From what I was hearing, we even had a few listeners like DM us that we go back and forth with, and we were like, yeah, we're getting caught up on Heated Rivalry, and they were like, oh yeah, episode 3 is like not it. Like,
is it because it's like less horny?
I think, ironically, in my heart and my mind, it's not less horny. It's horny in a different way. But like,
well, yeah.
just different.
In a way I enjoy.
Truly. But I genuinely think people got very attached to Shane and Ilya and the actors who play them, and were bummed that they really aren't prominently featured in this episode, and just got like a little bitter about that. And it's like, it's so crazy how shows have different characters. But anyway.
Yeah, what the hell?
How many episodes are we supposed to be
6.
expecting?
Oh, that's it?
Oh my God. Yeah. So
I
would be mad if a whole episode went by and I didn't see
You guys are like, my mind's
Ilya.
changed.
No, my mind isn't changed.
I don't know.
I didn't realize there's only 6 episodes. And if I had known that, and like I've been reading the books, okay, and I'm like, this season's gonna focus on this couple, I'd be like, why are we wasting time here?
Which makes sense.
Because obviously we're not gonna get into it, but like the whole plot of that episode was very self-contained. So like it could have been used as an opener for another season, because it
literally
connects.
told the story of the other characters.
It
like
connects
set up
enough.
a whole season.
I loved it.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was great. The timelines overlap slightly
Mhm.
with the events that we've already seen. One of the
Okay.
characters that we've seen almost, but you're not 100% sure, clock Shane. It focuses on him. And so it really makes it clear of like, oh, that's why this character seems to have this like weird insight on Shane. Like that's why this character's got eyes on him.
Is he also into
No.
Shane?
No.
No.
He's not into Shane, but he understands Shane.
Mm.
Yeah. Dude, this fucking show. I know we only have, after episode 3, we only have 3 episodes left. As we said, it's a 6-episode season. So yeah, let us know, listeners, sisters of the pod, friends. Let us know your thoughts. How are you feeling about the show? Do you like it? Do you love it? Wait, it's one of the two. But yeah.
There's no dislike, only like or love.
But let us know what you're thinking, how you guys are feeling about it. We would love to hear more, go back and forth. If you think there's content that you would like us to see or analyze, discuss, DMs are always open. Emails are always open. As you all know, we are Sisflix Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Sisflix Podcast. You can email us on Gmail at sisflixpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Patreon, as my sister previously mentioned, where you can subscribe to our content, which we have extra video content. We have additional Hit Clips episodes that live in Patreon and do not live on the main feed. So that would be available to you if you so choose. And you can find us on Letterboxd. Actually, I keep forgetting about that. Find us in so many places. Interact with us wherever you want. Shoot us an email if you want. Scream at us, yell at us. We embrace it all. But if you got all the way to the end of this episode, thank you so much for listening, as always. And thank you to Marissa for joining us, for having patience
Thank you,
with us.
Marissa.
You're
Thank you for
a goddamn
inviting
queen.
me.
Always.